That's not the way they wanted to start conference play. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk Buffalo. The UB Bulls lose their home opener in front of a reported 17,344 people, and again on national television as this one was moved to CBS Sports Network. There is a lot to take away from this game as they lost to a very, very talented Western Michigan team. So we're going to jump right into all of the things that I am now taking away from the first 5 games of the Mo Linguist era for the UB Bulls. The first is abundantly clear, and I have said this before. I said it in the offseason. UB should have had a QB competition. I understood the limitations of Kyle Vantrease coming into this season. However, I was assured by Mo Linguist and his staff that he was the guy. He was the guy that they wanted to lead them on the field. And for a team that can run the ball really well and can run the ball 35 to 40 times a game, yes, he is the quarterback you want in there because he's very safe. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. However, his limitations are very, very clear, and it is very clear now that he, in part, is holding this defense back, or this offense back, and it is far too limited with him as their starting QB. Now, Vantrease has many shortcomings, some of which include, he has a very average arm. He lacks a lot of zip on the ball to be able to put it into tight windows and be able to make the big plays when necessary. He lacks vision. Something I've seen in this game that I maybe didn't see in a couple of other games is he has a very difficult time coming off of his first read. And when his first read is not open, he kind of gets a little flustered in the pocket and he rushes his throws, and then that is what makes him inaccurate. So that alone is not a good look for your starting QB, to not be able to progress through his reads and to get flustered after his first read is not open. He is also very, very limited in terms of his athleticism. Yes, he can pull the ball down and run a little bit. However, you're not going to see him in a lot of RPOs. You're not going to see him in a lot of read options. The Bulls do run what looks to be a read option. However, other defenses simply do not respect it at all because Kyle Vantrease only pulls the ball out maybe like 1 out of every 100 unless they're down near the goal line. So other teams are able to just key in on the running back. And that's something that I think, if you have a more athletic quarterback, could help open up the playbook and help open up running lanes for the three-headed monster that we have at running back for the University at Buffalo. Another thing that is very clear so far in the first 5 games is that the play calling has been very, very suspect. It's been too vanilla for the University at Buffalo in these first 5 games. Too predictable. It's like watching the Buffalo Bills of 10 years ago, where you just know the first 2 plays of, their possession are going to be running plays. And yes, in years past, it didn't matter if other teams knew you were going to run the ball. You could just run it down their throat. You had a spectacular offensive line, and you also had Jaret Patterson, who is an NFL player. I don't think you have an NFL player, at least not to my eyes right now, on the University at Buffalo in their backfield. Kevin Marks has just not looked good, but we're going to get to that in a second. It also appears that Shane Montgomery, who is the offensive coordinator, has difficulty scheming receivers open for UB. Yes, I understand that Kyle Vantrease has a difficult time coming off his first read. However, it looks like there's very limited playbook when you go back and watch the University at Buffalo when they run plays. It looks very, very limited. It looks like there's a very small wide receiver route tree that they run. Not a lot of combinations, not a lot of short crossing plays, not a lot of pick plays, not a lot of wide receiver screens, not a lot of screen passes, not a lot of out routes, not a lot of deep digs, not a lot of post routes. However, there's a lot of 7-yard curls and a lot of 9 routes. That's essentially what UB runs when they run with their, when they go with their passing game. And it has become just insanely predictable. And outside of, one receiver, UB has a very difficult time getting any separation. But again, we'll get into that in a second. It's also very clear to me now, and I said this a little bit before, that he was in danger, is that Kevin Marks, who was supposed to be their stud, he put in his name into the transfer portal. He was going to transfer out. He was probably going to get some Power 5 offers, and he was probably going to go and play, and maybe he would have did better in some of those Power 5 schools. However, the scheme that Buffalo is running behind this offensive line, he is not University at Buffalo's RB1. And he shouldn't be. And here's why. When you watch him in this offense, Marks lacks vision. He lacks any sort of vision. It looks like there are holes when you watch either on TV or you watch it like the all 22 view of the game. You kind of see holes and you see opportunities for maybe him bounce it outside, or you see an opportunity for him to maybe make somebody miss or try to make somebody miss, maybe a quick cut, something like that. And instead, he just kind of lowers his shoulder and tries to run through everybody. He cannot consistently break off long runs because he doesn't have that vision. So he's more of a change of pace back. And he worked well with the Jarrett Patterson, but as an RB1, he just is not getting the job done. He's averaging just 3.69 yards per carry on the season. In 5 games, he has 288 yards on 78 carries. Woefully insufficient and way under where we thought Kevin Marks would be 5 games into UB's season. And I am making the claim now that Dylan McDuffie is the best running back on this Buffalo Bulls team. He can do all of it. We've seen him, when he was younger, be able to run routes and make plays in the passing game. We have now seen him be able to run the ball very, very well and consistently run the ball well and break off big runs consistently. And he's averaging 5.24 yards per carry, and he has 50 carries for 262 yards on the season. I think if UB wants to win and is serious about actually winning this year and not lose any of the momentum that they have had in years past, that have built in years past, some of these changes need to be made, and they need to be made right now. UB's defense has been the brightest spot, or one of the brightest spots, in the 2021 season so far. However, in this game, they couldn't get themselves off the field on a consistent basis. They forced just 1 punt in the entire game. They did stop Western Michigan 2 times on 4th down. However, Western Michigan was 3 of 5 on 4th downs. And Western Michigan missed 2 field goals also. And I understand that the defense is worn out and that the offense isn't giving them enough of an opportunity to kind of catch their breath. However, early in the game, you have to be able to get off the field and give your offense more of an opportunity. UB, and speaking of offense, UB punted 5 times in this game. 5 times. So Western Michigan had no problem getting off the field, and UB's defense had a world of problem getting off the field. And this contributed very much to the fact that UB had the ball on offense for just 19 minutes and 54 seconds. That is not going to win you almost any game in any college football, no matter how good you are. Western Michigan completely controlled the game. They had the ball for 40 minutes and 6 seconds in this game. And that is just something that these things need to be addressed if UB wants to win this year. Now, one thing is very clear moving forward is that if something does not get done with this offense or on the offensive side of the ball, this Buffalo team as it stands with the exact same players in the exact same positions running the same type of plays is a 4-win team. I went through UB's remaining schedule, and I see 2 more wins that UB has on their schedule. Potentially. 2 more wins. And that is a far cry from the last few seasons where the Bulls went 6-6, I believe 8-5, 10-3, and then last year they were 6-1. They were on pace for 12 wins last year. And to drop all the way down to 4 wins, it would essentially destroy any momentum that this program had been getting with Lance Leipold. It would destroy any momentum that UB had moving forward, and I think Mo Linguist would have to then completely rebuild his own program. And just there are going to be a lot of guys who enter the transfer portal. I think if Mo does not get this thing turned around, and if they don't start making some changes on offense, because what we've seen on offense the last 2 weeks against Old Dominion and against Western Michigan is not going to win you any ball games. They're just not good enough. They are not moving the ball enough. And you need somebody that is a little bit more dynamic on the outside. You need somebody that is going to be able to make plays aside from Keon Williams. Dominic Johnson is not the guy for UB as a number 2 wide receiver. They have plenty of guys on the bench, and I think that they should start playing some of those guys and seeing what they have. And Kyle Vantrease just isn't the guy. He's far too limited, and he closes the playbook down. His limitations are now being brought out to light in this season. And yeah, he's probably a great leader. However, he's just not getting the job done. When he's asked to win with his arm, he cannot do it. And he just isn't a mobile quarterback, so he's not going to win with his legs either. He's the perfect quarterback if you are ahead in a game. He is a terrible quarterback if it is an even game or if you have to come from behind at all. And that's something that UB definitely needs to address. Otherwise, again, all the momentum that UB has gained under Lance Leipold will be completely destroyed, and UB will have to start again from scratch. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a video. We talk Bills, Sabres, and UB Bulls, football, and men's basketball right here on this page. Thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic week.